seconds and it'll be live. Okay, we are on.
Could I click now? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Here we are coming to the halfway point. This is the last segment of the semifinal for the U.S. trials to find a U.S. representative to the World Championships, to the Bermuda Bowl in Marrakesh, Morocco. Here, so we have a bunch of tables we could look at. Everything is good. This is a close match, Nickel versus Rosenthal. And we've got young Finn Kolesnik playing with Ish Del Monte against one of the top pairs ever, Bobby Levin, Steve Weinstein on Michael Camel. And let's see where we are. Let's jump right into it. So 2-0 Trump, but was Jacoby game forcing, 3 clubs was a minimum, and Bobby Levin signed off. So it looks like the defense has two diamonds on top. The heart finesse is off. He's just going down. Very likely going down. Even if he gets the spade, which I'm not sure why he should. It's possible that he could figure something out. Like, you know, Steve is one of the great card players ever. It's possible he could figure out why South couldn't have the king of spades, but I'm not seeing it. I would think this will hold the trick and we'll get a heart through, and this will be quickly down. As I guessed, no. Of course, it's only because I'm seeing all the cards. He didn't know how many diamonds his partner had and was happy to take what he thought would be the third diamond. But none of this will be relevant in the end. It's a fairly dull hand. Let's see what they're doing at the other table. Also, the same contract on the same. All right, we'll go back. We'll call this the main table in this match. And as I said, no reason to guess that he didn't. And this will declare, we'll wrap it up unhappily and move on to the next hand. What are you going to do? And he'll know it's very likely a push. If I were sitting there, I would think, okay, it's probably a push. Of course, you know, some might have done better had you not opened Steve's hand. It's possible you don't get the game, but you probably would anyway. In the last segment, I never saw so many slams and grand slams and long suits and distributions. And here we're starting out fairly quiet. So both matches are close, by the way. Fleischer is ahead. I forget what the total was. I hear from the background, Gabby, who was supposed to be here with me, my wife, who hurt her foot. So she's laid up in a different position. In any case, she says the score is 16 in the Fleischer match at the moment. So here Finn makes a, no doubt, preemptive 3-club bid. And Steve has a bit of a problem. He would love to be able to show his hearts, but there's no good way to do it. And especially because we often overcall light at this vulnerability, or his partner, you know, they probably sort of take it easy on the other side. And so, you know, what was a possible game sort of goes away. Now, I'm not saying they would make game if they were in 4 hearts. It would be complicated and might depend on the defense. Certainly, had Steve done that, which would be a bit risque on Jack fifth of hearts and an 11 count, they might have, well, they would have been in game. What would have happened, I don't know. Could quite possibly have made. But here we are in three diamonds. There's not much to this. And Declare will come home with some, maybe 11 tricks or something. Let's see, 10, no, 10. 10 tricks. And what do we see in the other room? Are they up to this one? Let's see what happens here with Greco and Hampson versus Eldad and Chris Lincoln. I haven't seen much of the Nickel team, but I have watched the Rosenthal team. And last night in the final segment, Chris and Eldad played very well. And in what was a close match, they turned into a rout. So I don't know what Jeff has in his bag of tricks for this one, especially Vull against Nod. I don't know, maybe he'll just sort of slip in one spade and go from there. I don't see him preempting a lot of clubs. If he had that, I don't know. So there it is. And we see that West got sort of pushed out of the auction. Well, he can bid now, and perhaps he should, but maybe he's content with the contract. And does North have a way to escape to three clubs? I think he might. Many play, I know I play, and I don't play many gadgets, that three clubs here is to play. Maybe he plays 2-no as a transfer to three clubs. People do that also. Because he certainly doesn't want to play 1-no trump opposite vulnerable against Nod, opposite precision, 1 diamond and 1-no. So 2-no does puppet to three clubs, which he would quit at. It also makes it harder on West to get in the auction. So this could be a nice little steal if West doesn't get in the auction now. Right. Because I do believe they're going to make three clubs. Being off 2 diamonds, a heart, and only 1 spade with one of the honors. Right. I don't see anything fancy unless Declare is going to go and misguess the club for what reason. Once again, I don't know. Excuse me for a second. So the question was, should Eldad have bid over the 1-no rebid? And maybe he really should have, because he has decent values, and they could easily be. And it's very hard to get doubled. First of all, the colors are wrong. I mean, for the opponents to be doubling you, it's unusual. It could happen, but he had a good enough hand, I think. So this will cost them. This will be a 6-imp swing when all is said and done. Not much to lose for Declare putting up the king of hearts, and then one could say not much to gain. Let's see if they play a heart back. Let's see if he could strip the hand. Heart, he roughs. Club to the ace drops the king. Roughs a heart. Queen of clubs. No, I don't think he could do that. Well, the rough and stuff will end things quickly. I once heard Judy Braden say to her partner, no roughs and sloughs. I told you, no roughs and sloughs. So, or I don't know if I heard that or if I heard that that's what she said. But it didn't matter on this hand, it turned out, for Eldad. And he probably suspected that. Okay, so here I would imagine we'll see if Eldad will rebid 3 hearts or 2. I think I would have to bid 3 with this one, although 4-4-4-1 is not as good as 5-4-3-1. But he has 14 points and they're pretty good ones. I do think I would be a 3 heart rebidder. And then the question is, you know, will partner take it too seriously? I don't think he will. Of course, on this hand with the cards as they are, it is possible you could make it 6A. Let's see, yeah, with the intra finesse and diamonds or something. Yeah. He's going to ask what kind of 3 heart bid. Was it the 18 balanced, or is it this lesser hand with shortness somewhere? I believe that's what he's inquiring about. He's going to find out his partner has short clubs and that. So he'll have to make a decision. And as I say, well, they're only going to be off 1 key card. So it is possible to bid this one if they get pushy. And then it'll be all about the diamond suit. See, because, well, although, yeah, it's just a question of which hand you can set up here. And it turns out with the lucky diamond position, if you guess it, you're in good shape.
South may also just be squeezed in the minor suits.
Yeah, that's true at the end, right. Maybe it'll be some kind of strange double squeeze or something.
But that
But
will be
yeah,
broken up on a club lead probably.
right. Well, with all of, thank you, Brent. By the way, hosting tonight is Brent Chow. And with all of that discussion of what might happen in 6 hearts, we landed in 4 hearts. More reasonably, I'd say, on their cards anyway. So this won't be a problem. Whatever. Let's see what's happening at the other table. We'll have a look in. And they've also arrived at 4 hearts. So while we're the 4 hearts will not be an issue in the play. It may take a while here or there. So let's have a look around to see what's happening in the other match. And Fleischer is up 10-2. We can look in because we know these boards. Oh, look what's happened on this board with Zia and Mextroth. They've been sort of pushed up by Zach's overcall on a 4-card suit. And now Zia is trying for slam. And I don't think with the 4-4-4-1 and really the expected short clubs, right, that Jeff would go on to slam, and he did not. So for a second here, let's see on the scorecard why they scored 10 imps. So on this hand, yes, both tables where one table played 3 diamonds in the other match, and one let the opponent steal it for 3 clubs, resulting in a 6 imp swing to resulting in a 6 imp swing. In any case, here both tables have played 4 hearts, and here they made it. It looked like it was touch and go. Let's see how the play went, if I may, quickly. A trump lead, okay. How did he avoid a trump back? Okay. So he's off a heart, a spade, and two clubs. Yes. So this wasn't maybe the best line of play. And the other table, just out of curiosity, here, let's see what happened here, where four hearts made. The ace of clubs was led, so he had the timing probably, well, he allowed him to rough the club. So now he could, the diamonds are 2-2, so there's no fear of roughs, and there was nothing South could do about this anymore. So the defense was just a bit tougher in the other room, and maybe Declare could have guessed it, but he didn't. All right, and now back to our stories. So that was the swing in that match so far. Okay, we'll head back into the nickel match, see where we are. Okay, we came back into one spade, all pass. Yeah, the South hand, he with his partner as a passed hand, he didn't see the point of bidding a no trump. Why not just try and take his tricks on defense? So when partner couldn't open the bidding, which they probably opened very light, and couldn't bid over a spade, if he had shortness, he might often. South Eric Greco knew to let this go. And so he'll defeat one spade some number of tricks. Probably. Yes, let's see where we're at. He's got 3 trump tricks. Let's see. Okay, will he defeat one spade? I'm not sure about that anymore. Diamonds being what they are. Yeah. Yeah, north south do not have enough tricks. I'm sorry. It's what happens when you come in the middle of a hand. Right. He's going to make one. At least. And maybe he would have been better. As I say, I missed the beginning of the hand. Let's see. Maybe he would have been better off balancing after all, but I sort of doubt. I'd have to see everything. Certainly, if he's going minus, it couldn't have hurt him to balance. And Eldad trying to get the trumps off out of his opponent's hands before they use them to bad effect. And that'll do just fine. And it looks like, right, he will claim. Yes, well, they didn't have much to do here. He had too many assets in his own hand. Okay, so Chris opens a club here. Eric overcalled a hard, normal, negative, double. I no doubt Jeff will bid 2 hearts or whatever. He has to decide whether he's showing a decent raise or not a decent raise. I'm guessing he's going to show not a decent raise if he has that in his arsenal. But in any case, whatever raise he makes, Chris will bid 2 spades. And the action will be back to Eldad, who has to decide how much to bid. Now, in the old days, if you saw bidding like this, you'd probably just bid game with West Hand. Here, I'm not sure what he'll do. But if he invites, the East hand is interesting because although it's very light and high cards, it's such a nice suity kind of hand. And I wonder if double here by West is a game try. It pass seems remarkable. I would worry about missing game. I'm not saying he didn't do the winning thing. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm surprised. And maybe he was smart, but let's see. The opponents are going to lose. They will lose a fair amount of tricks, but still. I'm just a bit surprised. And with the diamonds very friendly, I'm not sure, and the hearts are friendly. The only thing wrong with 4 spades is that South has a singleton club. But you might not, you probably don't have enough time on singleton club lead to make 4 spades. But I'm surprised Eldad might have made a very good decision here. Maybe he figured his partner also would almost always bid with 4 spades and a singleton heart. And that was a good play by Chris to get the diamond through, I do believe. Although, let's see, best defense, it's possible that West could do something wrong here. If Declare plays low and wins his 10, could he do something wrong with the spade? No, he probably would lead a club. Well, it's a good play by South. Eric Greco, one of the really the greatest of the players. He rarely makes mistakes. I don't know. It seems to me we don't hear about Eric Greco as much as we might, but he's a very, very good player. So now Eldad has a bit of an issue what to play. The clubs, although his partner opened a club, the clubs look scary. However, the distribution, I think, is known. He knows Declare. I mean, I suppose partner could have had 1/3 of diamonds and been afraid to play a different spot because it would appear too low. I suppose that's possible. But if partner has a doubleton diamond, okay, he knows South's distribution is 3, 5, 4, 1. Or, but this seems impossible also, that he has no clubs, because that would give Chris ace, king, 6 of clubs and ace, 4 of spades, and he probably would have bid together or bid more the first time. So the hand is pretty much known. So now it's just a question of what's the right play from here. Maybe it's the 9 of clubs. I mean, could Declare have a singleton honor in clubs? It's very unlikely. For Eric Greco's 3 hard bid, very unlikely. So I think the right play is the 9 of clubs to partner for a diamond, or yeah. I'd be surprised if I saw something else, but it could happen. And let's see what the double dummy solver says, whether this even matters. Yes, the 9 of clubs. Diamond also works remarkably, and a trump works. However, a spade is the one that loses a trick. Fascinating. That's why you need these double dummy solvers, because otherwise they have to sit here for like an hour. Well, I dare say he might be thinking about underleading the spade, but if he does, I do believe he hasn't thought out the whole thing. No, and he did lead the 9 of clubs. That was a good play, good defense. And an interesting ace of clubs play by Chris, but I don't think he's fooling anybody, but partner or Eric. But maybe he'll fool Eric. So the defense was good. And declare maybe he has to be careful here to do the right thing. Otherwise, we'll see down 3. In fact, Declare knows a lot about the hand at this point also, but I don't think it's going to help him. Let's have a look in, see if anything's happening in the other room. The auction here was very similar, it was exactly similar to this point. I don't know if South will bid 3 hearts and how Bobby let him react. South didn't bid 3 hearts. I mean, technically he's not supposed to do such a thing, but I'm not sure because he has a nice pleasant overcall with his 5-4-3-1 to bid over 2 spades. But I'm guessing it's wrong. And Bobby did bid 3 spades. And here it's interesting, as I said before at the other table, whether Steve will bid for. I see now that they will not make it on a club lead. I don't think there's enough entries in time, unless I'm missing something again, but I don't think so, because 3 rounds of trumps had to be pulled, so he did well to pass. So I think they'll make their 3 spades in the end. Even if South roughs out the club, you might be able to make it from there. It's a close call. So I'm not even sure how Declare should play. Should Declare play a diamond at trick 2, even though his club might get roughed out? Well, he's off 2. Might do it, because it's very awkward to do anything else. To pull 3 rounds of trumps just doesn't feel right. I feels like he has to play a diamond or a heart toward the dummy. And a diamond feels like the normal kind of thing. Now, as I've said, these guys are really good card players. So, and I'm not the greatest technician, but the flow of the hand just feels like you have, and he did play a diamond. And these are always tough ones. I mean, it's very hard to figure out everybody's hand. Ish took his ace and whatever. Now Steve may have to guess the diamond later. I'm not sure. It's complicated. Maybe it depends what's shifted to now. Best defense is probably to play a diamond back. I don't know. It's complicated, as I say. Well, I don't think this is going to help beat the hand. No. The club rough is taken by the hand that has long trumps. So that's no good for the defense either. And now Declare may not know it for a second, but he could claim if he pulled 2 rounds of trump. Well, I mean, now the roughs are going the right way. I don't think there's much to this hand. He's just going to sort of cross rough. Well, he won't have to. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's going to make that. So let's go back to our original. Let's have a look around again. We'll have a look into the Fleischer match. We'll see what's happening. Okay, Fleischer will have, we know we have Zia and Mextroth. Nobody could blame me for having a look at Zia Mextroth versus Zach and Michael Rosenberg. And in fact, I think we should stay with this table for a moment. They did play 4 spades and it was beaten here on that same hand. But the lead is 21. Let's see what happened so far. So the score is 14-8 now. Well, the lead is no longer 21, is it? Let's see. I missed 1 spade redouble. Wow. Well, I got to stay with this table. 1 spade redouble. And they managed to defeat it. Wow. For 2 imps. That's pretty exciting bridge. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to stick with this table. We got to get them live. And here we are. Okay. So South opens a club, which I assume is 3+. And now Michael Rosenberg as North has to decide how to try and show this hand, which is not particularly showable. But he may start with a simple 2 clubs or 1 diamond. Or 2 spades, which I was not prepared for. Let's see what 2 spades means. Limit raise in clubs. Well, he has at least a limit raise in clubs. Did he mean just a limit raise in clubs? Yeah. Well, I don't think South cares about any of this. Let me say this, I'd be surprised if South bids, but Zach has been known to bid in many spots where I would be surprised. He didn't. Well, let's see. Mextroth has a close call. I presume if he bids 4 hearts, North is going to bid 5 clubs, whether he's shown a limit raise or before or not. Whether this prompts the opponents to double, but I don't even know if West will bid 4 hearts. Or he knows whatever cards he has are working because he's looking at 3 little clubs. But he doesn't have many cards. And you see, Zia has a good hand and you couldn't make it. But the point is on this one, it's the opponent's hand for game. And in fact, it's already been bid at the other table. I presume that was Joe and Brad bid to 5 clubs already. And he did pass 3 hearts as West. Now, will Michael bid 4 clubs or more? Or is he really going to treat his hand as just, I don't really believe he is. So the question might be, what do his various bids mean? Okay. So he was never intending it to be just a limit raise. Well, now Zach knows all of his cards are working. But Zach is missing some stuff. I think he'll bid a simple 5 clubs. I would be surprised if he did it otherwise. Even with all of his cards working, and even knowing partner has a heart for it, I don't really think, yeah, and he did not. So that was good bidding all around. Well done. That was good bridge. Yes, I think we'll stick with this table. We may check in elsewhere, but I think these are the fellows to watch. So they have this and about 9 more boards in the segment. And the score is 131-109 in favor of Fleischer, 22 ahead. But I do believe Larry and Adam might have played 3 segments today, and to take nothing away from them, one might say they're the 3rd best pair on their team, and having played 3 segments gives them, you know, a bit of a boost tomorrow, since they'll only have to be in for 1 segment. Well, when I watched today, they played quite well. You know, yes, there were some baubles, but they did just fine. I don't mean to demean anybody. It's just the truth of the matter is you have two teams here. There are three good pairs and on one, and there's three world-class pairs, and you have two world-class pairs, and then you have one national class pair. So that's what you've got. Larry might even be slightly below, but he's getting experienced and he's playing he's playing better all the time. So in any case, I do believe after whatever angst there might be, this will just make 5 clubs for a push. Sometimes these, there's as they say, there's about 8 boards to go in this segment. And it's sort of a big deal because you're coming to the halfway point in the match and you're going to come in tomorrow. And if, for instance, Fleischer were to pick up another 20 or 25 imps, it won't, it'll feel different than if we wake up tomorrow, start the day, and it's 15 imps. Then it feels like just a tie match to everybody. So if you're ahead by 40 something, that different things happen. So this is sort of, as there are many key points in the match, but this is one of them. And this board might be one of them. This looks like, it looks like an easy 6 cards for East-West. However, that being said, South, whose hand is controlled and being looked at by one Zach Grossack, has quite an interesting hand. And he's an interesting player, so we'll see how he goes about it. I will guess that he's going to bid 4 hearts over this, but I could be wrong because one has to consider leads and that kind of thing. Also, your partner might not think you're 6-6, but that's sort of his problem since you are doing it. When I say bid 4 hearts, I mean it to be like a Michaels, because when you have one of these situations where the opponents have shown all hearts and you bid hearts at your first turn, that's Michaels to me. In the old days, it might have been something else. So here, yeah, he just decides to bid 4 spades. He'd like to handle it a different way. But he may be right, by the way. I don't usually have 6 of the major to do this. But Jeff is having none of this. He's just black-witting himself in the slam. Zia will show 1 because that's what he's got. And if he's asked about the queen, he will, of course, say he has that too. But Michael is considering doing something. I'm a bit surprised. But yeah, I mean, 5-3-3-2 Yarborough, except for the queen of their trump suit, would be a little much. So Z is going to show 1. I don't know if it's with 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. It's 5 diamonds, which Zach can now double. Or he can do something else. He doubled, but now Jeff has an issue. He just plays that he can pick up the hearts, whatever they are, and doesn't worry about it. He doesn't even know his partner might have ace of, well, it's unlikely after the double, but he feared not. He hoped for trumps opposite him, and there he is. Now, how badly would 6 spades double do? I think it wouldn't be that attractive. You're off 1, 2, 3, 4 on top. And I don't know if they can get a 5th. Well, if it's only 4 tricks that you lose, it's not that unattractive, is it? But you'd have to do a little guessing too. In the trump suit, you don't want to leave the queen out of your hand if you were playing 6 spades double. Well, Zach is thinking of bidding. Sort of remarkably. Maybe he's thinking of doubling? No. That might even cancel the double of 5 diamonds as the lead he wants. Well, Zach is, as I said, Zach is always interesting to watch. He may bid six spades, and it may be a winner because six hearts is going to make. Can he scare the opponents into? No, he quit. Okay, he did all he could, and they played six hearts in the other room, and they made that there. So this will be a push. But I suspect six spades doubled would have been actually a winner. It looks like it could even be if Declare guesses well. I don't know. He might get tapped out. That's all, to make it a little harder. So it's complicated. He probably would have been down four, but maybe down three. And here they'll pick up an imp because they found the winning lead in the other room and not here. What Michael led a spade despite the double of five diamonds, but I guess he has to guess. Okay, so moving on. Let's see here. The dealer is north, so we would expect pass a heart doubled as the start of this auction. That seems pretty clear. How Mexroth reacts, I don't know. He may have something in his bag of tricks, or he may just redouble and show some level of heart invitation after that. That's sort of the old-fashioned way. I see we're joined by Michael Schuster. Hello, Michael.
I was going to ask if you wanted me before joining. But...
Well, of course, no, it's no problem at all. Yes, I'm sitting here. I'm sure that anybody who's listening to me is sick of listening to me already. Now, I was supposed to every once in a while be looking at Twitch to see if anybody was talking to me, but I was scared to get off the screen that I'd never find it again, since I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm looking at Twitch in another window, so
well, so if there are any questions, okay, you can help me there, Michael. Yeah, I mean, that would be a big help. If you see anybody questioning anything, let me know. So here he did redouble, Jeff. And let's see, it's always interesting to see how they react. South will always bid one spade when he has four. And now the question is what Mexroth will do. It's not clear what level and what strain he should bid right now, to me. He's got a soft 12 count. He might bid two no trump, but that sounds forcing. If you redouble and bid two no trump. But redouble and one no trump sounds like 10 or 11 points. So, and he doesn't show his heart fit. So he has a very awkward kind of bid here. In fact, does it matter whether you play four hearts or three no trump? Well, I think you can just give up two clubs if you're in four hearts. I think you have enough entries and such to do that. You'll need both spades on side. So, tricky hand, tricky hand. So he chose three hearts, which will certainly get four from Zia.
So it's a common technique. It goes back a long time to include the 3-card limit raises in the redouble of one of a major. The question is how you show it.
Yeah. Well, maybe just two hearts would have shown a 3-card limit raise, you know, having redoubled.
Yeah, I would think that having not passed one spade and gone to bid two hearts, maybe you should take advantage. It would be taking advantage of the room to show that.
Right.
I'm sure with being the partnership between Mexroth and Zia is a relatively new one.
Yeah.
They're probably keeping it relatively straightforward and simple so that three hearts just shows a better hand than two hearts.
I'm sure they are. Well, this lead will not, well, I don't believe Declare will think that South that North has the king of clubs, but I don't think it'll matter. Well, now he will. Now he'll know that North has.
He'll know right now, this exact
Yeah.
moment, he figured out the North has the king of clubs.
Well, that didn't hurt him too much. He's going to be, even when the trumps break, that this defense will make life very easy for declarer.
Nothing to worry about. The state's pretty much marked on his left now, so
Yeah.
it's easy. Checking to see if trumps are 5-0, they're not, so he can just sort of draw trumps and claim.
Right.
This hand's Mike proof, whether it's Michael Rosenberg, Michael Camille, or Michael Schuster.
Right. So I wouldn't even know how to see the chat things anyway on that screen. That's fascinating. Okay.
So
It doesn't matter. It's okay. If people keep your questions, you can send them to my email. I'll put out my email. No, I'm just kidding.
someone's trying to give you instructions on the
Oh,
Twitch,
well.
but if you're not on the Twitch, you can't see the instructions.
Right. I don't seem to have it done right. I was trying to be helpful to everybody, but so forgive me, all of you. There's a chat button. There's a something. There's a delay. I don't know. But I give up.
I'll put on my USBF sweatshirt.
Yeah.
There we go.
So Zia takes his making 4 or 5 or 4, I guess. Oh no, the diamonds. Oh, that's fascinating. But the diamonds are blocked, so it doesn't matter for East. He can't do anything about this. He's going to just take his 2 diamonds. That's pretty funny.
Hoping if the diamonds are 2-2 in this position that he can score a beer card.
And in the other room, they did make 4 hearts also. A tougher defense would have been a club to the king, under lead of the ace-fifth of clubs to the king and a club back. But I believe declarer can just discard and he'd make it.
Yeah, with the friendly spade position, it would
Yeah, there was no defense.
okay. It's
Okay, moving on. So there are now 6 boards to go in this segment till we hit the halfway point, and Fleischer's still up 23. I'm just having a quick, I will be right back to this screen. We're going to have a quick look into the other match so we see where we are in that match. There might have been a faster way. The nickel Rosenthal match is a dead heat, sort of. It's 5 imps to nickel in a very low scoring match. Very low scoring match. So here, 3 passes to North, who has an 18 count. So we'll see if he kids around and opens a club. I sort of doubt it. Or a heart. I believe he'll open a diamond. If the right word is prosaically, yeah.
Here's the thing: when you're playing with Zach Grossack,
yeah,
well,
he did
I
it.
was going to be wrong.
Right.
I was going to say, when you play with Zach Grossack, you pretty much want to play a really ABC game because you don't want to upset your partners.
Well, here he opened the club. See, I saw. I guess my sort of psychic aura kind of thing was working because I felt like he would open a club on that hand.
I know the Rosenbergs like to open the weaker minor with 18 to 19 balance, stops at a passed hand.
Ah, you know they're opposite of passed hand. Very tricky. Very tricky.
Or that's what Kevin liked to do.
Do they tell anybody they like to do that? No, I'm not picking on them. I know how these things work, but
the agreement is certainly more effective if you don't disclose it.
Right. So Zach had in my opinion, a close call whether to bid 4 hearts. His partner having opened the club, he might have bid 4 hearts here. I mean, he had a real response. That's the way I sort of always viewed it.
You see, Michael, because they opened the weaker minor, he thought his king of clubs was wasted.
I guess so. Well, I mean, I don't know how 4 hearts rates on this hand. I'm not going to go figuring out mathematically, but I strongly believe I would have bid 4 hearts as South, opposite of 1 club opener anyway. I know. I understand I'm being
Feels
told
like
because
South
they
maybe-
open the weaker minor. Well, don't they have to alert that if they know they open the weaker minor?
Well, Zach doesn't know that. It's only
Okay, well, then
18
he
to
should have been
19
four
ballots.
hearts in my view. No, I'm saying I would have been four hearts. So if four hearts is not the greatest contract in the world, I just would have done it.
I mean, I think South was maybe scared of his 8-6 fourth of hearts that he'd responded on. Interestingly, had he responded one spade, he would have almost certainly taken three spades.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're right. Yeah.
But
It's a good
I
one.
think I would have been for. Yeah, there's a game bonus involved, so I thought all the cool kids were bonus aware and would kick it in for
Right.
the 10th trick.
I feel like vulnerable, he surely would have been. Yeah, but maybe he's right. I don't know. But it did cost him on that one. They did bid it in the other room. I'm not sure what the.
Very modest of you, Michael, to say you don't know. You know.
Well, let's see. What did they bid the same auction? What did they do?
They had a big club auction.
Big club auction. So they just did that. Okay. All
They
right.
eventually had Stamen. It was like an 18 to 19 one, now followed by Stamen. So it was
Right.
easy to award their table.
Okay. Okay, so the score is now back. It's up to 29. And let's see, with 6 boards to go now. Sorry, there were 7 before, even though I said there were 6. So now this looks like, well, I could see many pairs getting to 3-0 after 14-16 no trump. I know everybody just bids that. Now, will Zia raise? And how does 3-0 look here? 3-0 is.
He's got
I
to love
don't
that
know.
Jack 10 of spades and 10-9 of clubs. He's a
Yeah, but he didn't as it were.
he didn't love it enough to bid.
And I have a feeling that we're going to see a 14-16 no trump in the other room, and whether the East hand just bids game or not, I don't know.
Oh, they will.
But and the whole thing is touch and go. So I think 4, 3.
He's staying out
I don't
of
know.
those
You might
red
have to
games.
guess the spade, but it is a red game. Yeah.
I mean, I think Extrith has to give his last name back to someone who owns it or something like.
See.
So he has to give his reputation back to someone.
Yeah. Well, let's see what I hate to do this, but I'm gotta peek in. Here they bid 1-0, as I guessed, 14-16, right? And here we are. And this will be, as I say, touch and go. The 10 of diamonds, this 10 of diamonds dropping matter. Very complicated hand. I think you might have to guess the spade, but maybe not. 4, 2. Oh, this is interesting because it's going to go. I don't know. Maybe he'll duck the diamond here. No, he didn't. Well, he's got 4 hearts.
Well, South has kind of become a danger hand right now, so he may get spades right.
Right, he can't afford to lose to the, but the other, if he loses the spade that way, he has 9 tricks. So yes, I think he's going to make it. I think he's going to lead a heart to the king and the jack of spades around. I don't see why he wouldn't. The defense was just so that he's going to do that. It's almost a claim. There's no reason not to. He's going to make 4.
And
There's no doubt he's going to make 4. He's got. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't play a heart to the king and the jack of spades around.
And Leibowitz can certainly use the game swing right now.
Yeah, and I think they're going to win it. It's not often you'll see Zia and Mextroth bid lower. There's no, she surely. I'm going back to the other table. I'm so sure he's going to make the game. I'm going back to the other table. I'll come back to this. here. They're still playing 1-0. So we might as well sit and watch Joel. He's just going to leave the spade to the king. All right. It's the same thing. I would have done it the other way just so I didn't feel tangled, but he doesn't feel tangled anyway.
And that's what made this game so good, was those clustered Jack 10 of spades and 10-9 of clubs.
10-9 of clubs, and that was the difference, right? And even, you even had the 9-7 of diamonds might have helped you out. Who knows,
That was his temptation. If you tried to leverage those, you might have gone down.
Right, you're right. So a nice pickup for Lebowitz, who needed it. As I was saying before, we're sort of this key point in the match where if you give up another 20 imps, you walk in tomorrow and you're down, 40 or 50 or something, and it doesn't feel good. So here, this pickup will cut the margin to, let's see, 19 or so, right? 119, 138. So it'll feel like just a fair match. Okay, so let's go back to Arzia and Jeff.
So Finn and Ish, also a club, opened the weaker minor a club, responded 1 heart, jumped to 3 hearts and passed.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just wouldn't have thought that. I mean, I've always thought that if you have a solid response, since you're opposite what can be 18 to 19, it adds up to game. So I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know. But I think these guys jump to 3 hearts maybe weaker than they should. So
if you do, then maybe you should reserve another call to have like 3 hearts be like the 18 to 19 balance, and something else show the unbalanced raise to 3 hearts. The partner knows on hand like this to bid the 4th part.
Right.
And so interestingly enough, the other table there, they had the same thing with a strong club into a no trump and then Stamen. So
right. So here we have a possible slam or a slam going down in diamonds. It might all depend on the lead, which wouldn't surprise me if it was a spade from both sides by the time this auction is done. But I don't even know how Jeff is going to rebid on this hand. It's very interesting.
6 diamonds is pretty good, right? You cash the ace king of diamonds and then try to run the hearts if the diamonds don't break.
Oh, and actually, right. Actually, that would work. I'm glad you came here so that you could fix all my analysis. Yes. So he's going to make, so 6 diamonds does make. Yes.
Now, the question is whether you can, how easy it is to bid. So West is sort of pretty good.
West is pretty good. I mean, West could be thinking slam. He is thinking slam right now. And especially playing opposite a guy who's going to yell at him for missing any slam. So, although nobody, I guess, yells at Jeff Mextro that much. But he took the bull by the horns right away. That might be Blackwood. I bet you that was Blackwood.
It is, in fact.
Right.
They're playing some form of minor wood here.
Right. So he showed 2 without, and he's going to bid slam, and Zia will surely make it.
Yeah, partner showed 2 without. If he showed 2 with, I think he'd be thinking about 7.
Yeah, you're right.
Not terrible. It's not a terrible grand.
Right.
It's not a great grand. When they might not be in game at the other table, certainly don't want to be in 7.
Right.
They are in slam at this table. They haven't gotten there at the other table. It looks like North-South been competing in spades, and West has bid for spades, so it certainly looks like they're on their way to a high-level contract.
So at the other table, we have Joe and Brad, who, not surprising. They've only, what level did Joe and Brad bid up to? I'm just
they bid up to 2 spades.
2 only? Are you kidding? Look at all those
9 high card points and 8 card spade fit with one hand having like 11 losers.
It's really, they usually will be at the 3 level on that layout. But no, okay. All right, so they only competed to 2, but so probably the other table will get to 6 also. And maybe the auction, maybe they'll get to 7 and the auction will give it away. We'll have a quick, I feel certain that Zia is going to play, as you suggested, ace, king of diamonds and try and run the hearts, which will happily for him work. And
I suppose it's possible to just cash the ace of diamonds and then try to do something in hearts, trying to keep the king of diamonds as an entry in case the hearts are bad, but it feels like ace, king of diamonds, right?
You mean if the hearts are, but if the hearts are bad, I think you're just down, so it doesn't matter. Right. I mean, if the hearts are bad in the hand that doesn't have any more diamonds, yeah, you're right, I guess. But you can't do that. You could never do that. You have to play ace,
It's
king.
an involved line and not. I mean, like you just cash ace, king of diamonds, you've made it if the diamond queen comes down, and if it doesn't, you still have really good chances in the heart suit. So the opponents have passed.
Right. I get, but aren't you afraid? But Michael, if you don't cash the king of diamonds, you play ace, king, and what in hearts? Are you playing the queen?
I'm not committing to that line. I was saying
Right,
I think ace, king of diamonds is better.
Right. I don't think the other line. Yeah. I don't think it could work out. So anyway, as we've seen, this is going to work. Now the question is, did they bid at the other table? And the answer is yes. So well done by David Granger and Joel Warridge also.
So someone on Zoom has mentioned that being yelled at by Zia would be a privilege for them, and I think you probably could pay Zia a small stipend and he would yell at you for that. He might even do it for free.
I've been yelled at by Zia, and he was right. Everything he said. Everything he said. I played with Zia for a short time, and I didn't play well with him. And he's a great player. He really is. I like the way he plays. He's very careful with his cards. We all know he's tricky and all of that, but he does so many things well. But his carding on defense and he's very thoughtful. You know, he's great. He plays
quickly well, and he's as I've not sat across from him, but I've played many boards against him, and I found that his reputation for being an unusual player, he picks his spots.
Right, exactly. He's
got being unusual.
No, right. He's just trying to do the winning thing. That's all. And he has some imagination. So this one, they just have to be a little careful not to. Well, Z's already passed, so this isn't going to matter. So this is probably going to end. Well, Zach's psyched in third seat, which I don't think will have much of an effect.
His second longest.
I think so Zach couldn't resist. I can understand it, by the way. He's white against red, and he has a 3 count. So it was quite reasonable to completely sight. Now, I think Michael will probably bid 2 hearts as North, Michael Rosenberg.
Yeah.
But Zia, with no way to get him, is going to just bid 3 no trump, unless he's just going to bid 3. If he has some.
He has a red game, he's not going to fool around trying to defend.
Right.
An 8 card fit at the 2 level.
Right.
7 card fit at the 2 level. It just doesn't. Can't trust that his partner's for sure going to reopen with a double if he passes.
Sure. So Zach escaped any kind of weirdness. On the other hand, he didn't. He might have won something. On another layout. On this one, it mattered not at all. So he escaped the big disaster. Something like he opens a heart, the next hand bids 4 spades, and his partner happens to have 5 hearts and bids 5 hearts or something, or 4 hearts and 6 diamonds, or whatever, and bids 5 hearts. So, but there's yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I do think it's a good idea for players, even at this level, to psych occasionally, just to make sure you're keeping it in the repertoire.
I can't disagree with you. Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody has to make sure that Zach is keeping it in the repertoire. I believe he is keeping it in the repertoire. So you could expect it. Let's say you can expect the unexpected from Zach. Yeah. So all of this excitement for really nothing. It's quite a dull hand. So it was nice that he did open a heart, so we had something to talk about. But here in the meantime, we're going to come down to Declare has 3 spades, 3 hearts, 4 clubs, and a diamond if he can get them all. And I think he can. So 3 spades, 3 hearts, 4 clubs. Yeah, so it's 11 tricks. I don't see he has a 12th trick.
So
right?
Declare should know about the psych. I wonder, what about maybe Declare was supposed to just win the first heart with the ace, unblock the clubs, and keep a sure entry to dummy and hearts.
Maybe. I don't see
Well, I guess
how.
get a sure entry in spades, though.
I mean,
so.
things could get a bit right. Things could get a bit blocked up here, but we're only talking about an over trick or something anyway, so it's not a big deal. Let's have a look around here. Well, all of this is this thought, which won't mean a thing. And here they're also in South here. South here was playing 4-card majors, not 3-card majors, so he opened 1 spade on his 8/4. So it depends which you're playing, 3-card majors or 4-card majors. So Brad opened 1 spade and went 1-0. North didn't bid because he didn't have 3 spades. And so it went 3-0. So it was sort of the standard auction, one of a major by South. Let's see if anybody's psyched in the other match. I'll go have a look. So we've got 2 psychs on the same board. Do you think there's a psych in the other match on this board?
If they've played it, I would think Ish is South. I think there's a pretty good chance he would do it.
Well, they may not be up
to,
where are we, like 57? Nope, they haven't reached it. We'll have to have, if we're still on the air, we'll have a look in. We will still be on the air. We'll have a look in there. So
I think Ish will and Greco won't. The other match.
I see. Maybe Ish will open 1-0 trump, but that's a little
Maybe
scary.
Maybe diamonds involved at open 2 diamonds.
Here we're back here. Yeah, we're waiting on Michael. Here's where it would be nice to have a referee or something. You could say, it really doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. They're making 11 tricks. Get it over with.
You can sometimes sort of, depending on what's going on, I've managed to resolve some hands with my screen mate.
Right. You could do that. Yes. You could. Right. If you're in the same room with a guy who's savvy enough, you say, do you have the king of hearts or something, and the hand's over. That's that. Yeah. Right. So he'll give up the heart here. And as far as I can tell, there's 11 tricks unless somebody does something remarkably off, but they won't. So this will end at 660. Unfortunately, nobody can claim yet, so Michael has to think it out. He still has got, yeah, he did claim. That was good for him. So and he picked up an imp. Yeah.
A lot of viewers don't understand that when a claim is made in a position where the player couldn't know to claim, it is almost always because it's been resolved in the room.
Right. That's a good point. So here, let's see, who's dealer? Zia's dealer. He's going to open a spade, and South will likely pass. Yeah, he did. And whether Maxtroth is a responder or not, I think he is. I know most of the people at this table are big on responding, even light. So presumably he'll bid a no trump. It's possible he passes, by the way. It is possible. You're not worried about the opponents in 4 hearts. I know that, but people don't like to pass because it tells the opponents you don't have much. So in any case, so Michael bid 2 clubs, and Zia has a choice between 2 hearts, double, and, well, I don't think he would bid spades before hearts. So I think it's 2 hearts or double take out.
So the East-West, I think, can make 10 tricks in hearts because of the location of the Jack of Hearts.
I see.
Club tapping the East hand, a heart to the king, spade to the queen, ace of spades, spade ruffed with the 9, which holds.
I see.
draw trumps and claim.
Right. Well, Mexstroth could not bid 3 hearts there directly. It would be too encouraging. So the question is, if whatever Michael does over this, he could bid 2 no trump or something, will Mexstroth back in the next round with 3 hearts? Or will Zia bid again?
I think Michael's going to think that even if there are hearts out against them, they're likely breaking. I guess, I mean, he doesn't
Yeah.
have hearts.
Well, there could be 5 on his left, right? Yeah. Be 5 on his left. So, but maybe he has a nice overcall. And he did bid 2 no trump. And now Zach, in my opinion, should not bid 3 no trump, but he might do it. And it might be winning. It might be winning. No, he passed. But now will Mexstroth? No, Mexstroth has quit.
Also. Well, 4 hearts is a terrible game. Even 3 hearts is pretty sketchy east-west.
Right, and Zia got off to what was, it turned out, the losing lead. He could have beaten 2 no trump had they led hearts, and when Mexstroth was in at whatever opportunity, returned to spade. I'm not saying that was possible. I'm just saying that was the hand as it is. So 2 no trump could, yeah.
Declare in this type of position, I like to just claim because I feel like it makes the opponent feel bad about their opening lead right away. Let them know that they just blew the contract.
Well, Michael is not going to claim. I promise you, he's not going to claim. He will look for whatever.
To the bitter end.
Yeah, and people make lots of mistakes, even good players, because you don't know the whole.
Surely at match points I'll play it out, but
yeah. Well, I think many of the players here feel like every imp could be life or death. I'm not one of them. I just play on, but it's quite a reasonable way to look at it. But I just don't. I don't have it in me. So, but in any case, and poor Zia Zia has all the spades. He knows.
There was a 6 diamonds that where you either could drop the queen of diamonds or off the hearts run. In the other match, Weinstein and Levin bid up to it in a long-ish auction that included some Q bidding. The other one, the other match, Eldad opened a no trump with the ace, king, queen, 10, 8, 5th of hearts, and the 17 count, which seems like a huge underbid to me. And they wound up in 3-0 on a puppet auction.
I see.
3-0.
So nickel won 12 imps or whatever on that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, 3-0 could go down in the same cases that 6 diamonds is going down.
Right.
Diamonds don't come in and the hearts don't break.
Right. So that's fascinating. Okay, well, he misjudged, or he chose the wrong time to judge his hand that way. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Well, you pay around here if you do enough wrong things, technically wrong things, you're going to pay.
I think they both were a little conservative because the other hand with the 6 diamonds never showed it. He just bid puppet.
Right.
Ace jack 10, 6 of diamonds and jack 3rd of spades. I would be looking at my hand and thinking, should I be exploring for diamonds or should I just be resigned to no trump? The idea of playing spades is just such a small target. The partner happened to open one no trump on this hand with 5 spades and that it's right.
Sure. So let's see what's happening at the other table, because this could be a swing for Lebowitz. They had a nice result here, and in fact, they're in 4 hearts.
Well, so
but hold on. So can it be defended from here?
Not if they tap declare again, I don't think.
Well, they can't tap declare. Declare can rough. Oh, but I don't. Well, no, the diamonds are good.
Oh, okay, the diamonds are set up. So
I believe they're going to make this hand for another pickup. They are, but okay, hold on. We're up to this position. Let me think. If he plays a club, okay, you can't obviously you have to rough in the dummy.
Rough and dummy, take a spade, finesse, draw trumps, and coin.
Right. That seems like a good line. You don't know the diamonds are splitting, but maybe you have to play for it. So there you have it. So I do believe he's going to make it.
In
It
fact, you
went
could
here.
even take a spade finesse, rough the spade's good if you rough a spade with a 9, and then
Right.
draw trumps ending in your hand and claim with the good spades instead of the good diamonds.
Right.
If those two lines are competing lines, they both work.
Right. But the
I guess-
auction was fascinating, by the way, because it went a spade pass, and Joel Woolridge did pass, but Joe chose a no trump with the king, queen, jack, 10, 6, the clubs. I'm not saying it had an effect, but he chose a no trump. And now when East bid 2 hearts, Joel, who probably could have done with 3 hearts, he bid 4 hearts. So
4
you'll
hearts a
note
big
that,
bid.
yeah, you'll note that 4 hearts isn't that good. You know, I mean, anything could go wrong here, but
Right, he exited a diamond, so now he knows the diamonds are good. Now
well,
he can
he's
just draw the
going to
trumps
claim and end up with a finesse. That's all. So he's going to make it.
And right now he just said to his screen mate, is the spade finesse on? And they said yes.
Right.
And then he
Right. That's what happened. So they're within 6 imps. Once again, with only a couple boards to go, let's go back to the Zia table here. Okay, so let's see what's happened. 1 no trump by South.
hard to believe that passing 1 spade gave them an auction to game, whereas responding to 1 spade
Yeah, amazing.
did not. Which is a funny game. So there's like an art to the timing that is just
Yeah.
super unclear.
Well, this is fascinating. It went 1 no, past 3 clubs, double, which I presume was just clubs. 3 clubs showed diamonds, no doubt. Right. And 3 diamonds by South said no specific discussion here, which is a bit surprising that they haven't. But okay. And West interjected a 3 spade bid. And now North is Q bidding, and they had better be careful here because well, actually.
Yeah, Zia has like an easy 4 spade bid because he's got 3 spades and a void.
Well, North South can't make anything. It turns out with playing from the South hand. By the way, playing from it doesn't matter which hand actually. The cards are just so they can't make anything. So East West would he may double here. I would think he would double. So they may end up. How does 4 spades double do? The cards are very friendly, are they not?
They are. The fence, and if the fence leads out a bunch of trumps, then West has some diamonds to lose.
He's got right. That's only 9 tricks. He would have 3 spades in hand, 5 clubs, and 1 diamond. So as if the defense leads trumps, he's down. He may be down anyway, by the way. I haven't figured it out. But
they lead a diamond, it's more involved.
South is trying 4 no trump.
That's is that still like a good 5 diamond bid for them? Maybe it's certainly
well,
I think it's
maybe 4
diamond.
clubs. Maybe 4 clubs was no. I don't understand what's going on here, but I will say the following.
Maybe 4 is natural.
South opened 1 no trump with this hand. Okay, what was 5 clubs then? South opened 1 no trump with a hand that was shy of the of what he was supposed to have. Intended as 1 key card. Well, whatever.
Well, you avoid getting doubled in game.
Yeah, they avoid getting doubled. Yeah, they can beat. By the way, you can beat 5 diamonds about at least 2 tricks if you lead your stiff heart. Yeah, and he did.
The heart seems clear with the trump control
Right.
and a partner who rates down exactly 1 entry.
So he's going to end up down 2 and 5 diamonds. But he could never really make it. because as long as a club was led through at some point. There's no game to be made north-south. So let's see what's happening at the other table. This is going to be defeated 2 tricks when he wins his ace of diamonds. See, Zia, you'll note Zia played the 2 of hearts because he knew it was a singleton lead and he was telling his partner where his cards were, even though he doubled 3 clubs already. So the defense always very careful with his cards, Zia. Whenever, I think he said, he told me, whenever the lead is 90% to be a singleton, third hand plays suit preference, and here was 90% to be a singleton. And so West is getting his ruff. He will not have another ruff available because Dummy only had 2 cards. Cats are coming everywhere here. Okay. Go away, Jaggy. You can't. Or say hi, everybody. Say hi. All right. Okay. Okay, so with 1 board to go, let's see what they're doing at the other table on this board. They're up to 4 clubs. It was very similar auction. Everybody has to open a no trump with that. And here it was 14 to 16. I presume it was the same at the other table. 3 clubs, diamonds, the same thing, double, 3 diamonds, 3 spades. Amazing. They're having the same auction. 4 spades. We're up to 4 spades.
I think the auction is going to diverge at this point.
I'm surprised it wasn't double, but maybe he's afraid he doesn't have enough actually to double to beat anything. He doesn't really.
Pass, right?
Right. Well, yeah, the Zach bid 4 no trump, which was a bit strange. I didn't quite understand it. Maybe it was wise though. I don't know. And let's go back to the last board here, which is interesting in itself. Mextra has opened 2 diamonds multi. North has a close 3 club bid. He's vulnerable though, but his club spots are good. And he did bid 3 clubs. Now, can you get yourself to spades here? Do you belong in hearts? Well, it's unclear, but I think they would do well in spades. So the 2 diamond opening may not work to their advantage. 3 diamonds, 3 no by South, who's trying to steal the board. He knows the opponents may have majors.
It's sort of an interesting position.
Yeah.
When partner opened 2 hearts natural, you could bid spades where it's undeniably natural spade bid.
Right.
Whereas when partner showed either major, your ability to bid naturally in either major has become limited.
Right. That's a good point.
Sort of a downside of multi I'd never really seen explored.
Right.
Feels like it's really there. Like it's a real drawback.
So maybe no, you can't do anything about it, right? If you bid 3 spades here, you would do that when you had good hearts and were afraid. I guess you wouldn't bid 3 hearts with good hearts. You might miss a game, right? On some hands where you knew if you had a heart fit. So you have to use the 3 spade bid as pass or correct, sort of.
There's a late alert on 3 diamonds. So maybe 3 diamonds says
let's see.
My own major or something.
No discussion, presumably natural. Boy, there's going to be headaches here. Who's thinking here? Oh, maybe Nextra thinks it's something else. I wonder. Because I wouldn't see why anybody would be why he would be thinking.
It would not be unreasonable to have an agreement where 3 diamonds was some sort of Q bid over.
Oh yeah, I see.
But I don't think that's would be a common agreement.
Right.
It seems like it would be a possible one.
Right. Well, I'm trying to figure out how Zia is going to get to spades or hearts even. I mean, is he going to bid 4 hearts now, or is he going to let them play 3 no?
He could bid 4 clubs, which should do something, but I would think that would be more about diamonds than anything.
I don't know. It's fascinating.
But
By the
yeah,
way,
like a
by
lot of
the
these
way,
players that play 4 clubs, transfer your major, 4 diamonds, bid your major, and 4 hearts and 4 spades are natural, but that doesn't help you on a hand that doesn't really want to play the suit unless partner has a fit.
right.
It's only
Well,
going to do like 7 or 8 of them.
this, by the way, this will not work out for them. This is gonna, unless Jeff finds the spade shift when he's in with the ace of hearts. That's what it's all about, right? And I guess he will. Right. He beat
right now.
Right. The best play for Zach would be to, let's say, win the next diamond. The best chance to make it would be to play a heart.
So if Zia plays a heart, is there any chance that Jeff ducks it playing
It's
hearts?
possible. I would be scared to do it. He may realize, though, well, he doesn't know about the clubs really. And it's weird that Zia has all these spades and bid 3 diamonds. See, it's possible. Well, that was not the winning defense. Declare has 9 tricks. He's going to make 9 tricks. So there's Zach sort of stole the pot. And I think that might have been an error by Zia. Because he had to presume that Declare had 6 clubs and 2 diamonds. No? I mean, he's looking at avoiding clubs. I mean, I'd worry that he had 6 clubs. I might be missing something. I might be being unfair.
I mean, it's possible. I guess your partner had queen 4th of clubs, but
well, but
if he does, then he's got a singleton spade, and the spade just not helping you either.
No, but queen 4th of clubs gets picked up. He would have to have 5 of them or something.
Yes.
So I think that was an error by Zia. I do think it was an error. When 9 of diamonds lead to the queen, and he knows Declare has 2 diamonds. If he has 6 club tricks, you can't play a spade. So I think that was a bit not the right play. Not the right play. It might have been, and it's something, by the way, before I sign off here, it's something to keep in. Oh, well, actually, we could go look at the other match. I'm sorry. But it's something to keep in mind, which is that on the last board, you really have to be vigilant and, be careful, because I think he would admit that he had made an error. Let's have a look in at the nickel match if it's still going on. So nickel has now up 21 imps. They've picked up 15 imps in this segment. Let's have a look. Here, Eldad and Chris got to the wrong game when they didn't bid.
Is huge bid. Partner couldn't bid game themselves.
Well, yeah, he had responded to no trump. You're right. Yeah, that was a huge bid. Yeah. Well, they're going to lose some imps on this board. Yeah.
They played in hearts.
They played in hearts, missed the game, but yeah.
They had the auction where Joel jumped to 4 hearts. It was just raised to 3 at that table.
Right. Well, it seems more reasonable. I wouldn't have jumped to 4. He was very smart to do it, I guess, on this layout in any case. Okay, so let's see. So the other table is now playing board 59, and they've arrived at this 5 diamonds that's not going to make, unless the defense does something wrong. And it probably didn't make. Let's see. It says the lead is up to 28. Well, they picked up that 7 imps we were talking about. 5 diamonds did go down 1, by the way.
And 10 imps on the slam, so it's the lot. They've Nichols rattled off 23 imps to bring the match.
Right, and here we are with the same situation we saw in the other room, where Zia was fancy and bid 3 diamonds. No. Well, when 2 diamonds. No, it's not the same situation. Not the same situation. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get to see the benefit of the natural week 2 here. He's going to be able to bid spades in an unambiguous fashion.
Yes.
And that's
And
going to
if-
work out very well when he catches his partner with queen 10 third of spades.
Right. In fact, I would not be, well, it's interesting where we land here. Yeah, so there he got to bid his 3 spades. Maybe South will bid 4 hearts.
They just bid 5 clubs to get it
Yeah,
over
that's
with.
true. Yeah, you could do that.
No one knows who can make what, and it's a huge fit, so they might not be able to W even when it's their hand for 4 spades.
Right, right.
Which is what's going on here, is that you have the high card points, but they have the shape, so it's their hand.
Yeah.
But they have the voids. They have the voids and the aces.
Yeah.
Let's see what Ish thinks, because he usually thinks something different than I do.
Well, I mean, so the choices are, I mean, 5 clubs or 4 hearts. I don't know what other choice you have. You're not
4 clubs,
there's
I suppose.
4 clubs. That would be something opposite of red. I mean, you might be right, but it's something opposite of red against white. 3-level overcall with 5 trump and a 12 count, even though it may not be so great. People do a lot of fancy things, white against red against, you know.
The hands are essentially.
You called it. You called it. He bid
All right.
5
Ish
clubs.
thinks the same as me today.
Right.
I don't know whether to be proud or sad.
Well, I wouldn't think, and Mextroth did bid 5 spades. Wow. By the way, we have not, Mextroth, sorry, we're at the Bobby Levin's table. Bobby Levin did bid 5 spades, and I'm not sure you're down yet. I believe you make 5 spades.
Looks like you just lose a heart and a diamond.
Yeah.
The handling is not that hard, because I don't think, because the
That there you, by the way, you, yes, you see how poorly it worked out for Mextroth and Zia. This multi really killed them, because not only, well, I mean, they didn't have to misdefend 3-no trump, but they would have saved a lot of tricks if they got the defense right, because they won the first diamond. They could have won 6 spades and a heart from there if they got the defense right for down 4 for 400. So you would do just fine. But this is pretty good. Is Finn thinking, should he double? I think he's going to double. No? Yeah. Well,
this is going to be a huge swing for nickel.
Yeah. I don't believe can you misguess the play? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I think this is going to be 650 in this room and to go with 600 in the other room. It's
Yeah.
a lot of amps.
The question,
but it's a lot.
Right. Well, no, the other room here. No, the 600 was in the other match. I did this to you. This here, we'll have a look whether they're on this board in the other room. No, they haven't gotten to this board. They're playing 3-no trump, north south, and we're down to where Eldad has to shift to a club. There's been, which he did. So they're beating 3-no trump. They're going to take 5 club tricks unless something goes really wrong.
3-no down 2.
Right. So it's a couple of imps to Rosenthal. And then they'll get to the last board here. Where
that makes sense, because Chris and Eldad did not play multi, so
right.
Stuff if they
right.
It'd be unusual for them to pick it up at this stage.
Right. Well, I'll be right back to this. Oh wait, here. Let's see how he played. King of diamonds out of his hand. Well, this is going to be a fine winning line. I guess what else could he do? He wasn't going to play a heart to the ace. So he might as well play for the diamonds friendly and spades friendly and just make your contract when your luck is in, and it will be. Then we'll see how this goes in the other room where we also got a 2-heart opener. But let's not forget what a great bid Bobby Levin made. He decided to bid 5/5 here, right? Maybe it was automatic, wasn't clear to me. I mean, you have a nice friendly hand, but whether to bid 5/5, I don't know.
You do almost as well just taking your 500, doubling them, but who has a double? No one can double.
Right. It wasn't going to double. He would just pass, right? Yeah.
The East doesn't have any known defensive shreks. Maybe
Right.
you could double with, figuring out the king, queen of diamonds, the ace of spades, and partner bid.
Sure.
But it's pretty hungry. The club
Chris
board.
did not bid his spades.
That's, even though partner has 6 hearts in this partnership, not mentioning the spades seems
right. It's surprising, but maybe 3 spades wasn't forcing and he was afraid of missing a game. I don't know. Maybe he thought, is he going to double 5 clubs on the way back? I'd be surprised with a void, but I mean, I guess he could.
With the club void, there has to be some concern that you should be prepared of what's going to happen when it goes 5 clubs on your left. And maybe he will double it because he's got the king of diamonds to lead and the ace of spades. And
yeah, he did. He did well.
So
he did well. He's going to get his
hearts.
Right. He's going to get 500 versus a surprising 650 at the other table. So he's going to lose 4 imps for this great maneuvering, but he's going to lose 4 imps. That's just the way it is.
Right. West shouldn't have any trouble switching to a spade with that dummy with the ace jack third of diamonds.
You wouldn't think so, unless he thinks his partner jumped to 4 hearts on a singleton and now wants a ruff or something. Yeah. His partner would have to have a trump, which would be unlikely. Yeah, 1-1. I don't think
partner double with has to have the ace jack of spades. Can't have the ace kingery to let it.
Right.
It's like nothing left for partner to have with the ace jack of spades and the king queen of diamonds.
You're right. And they did, in fact, make 5 spades doubled in the other room. So we're just going to have a quick look. Well, here, he did shift to the spade, so they will get their 500. Well, I have to say, well done by Chris to double that. I don't like doubling things without any trump, but it was very smart.
At least they played it quickly.
Yeah, you're right. 4 imps to nickel, so that ends that, right? Am I right? We've finished. We've come to the end in this match, and we'll just check out the other match, see if it's over, and then we can wrap it up. So it's Leibowitz by 9. Leibowitz by 9. When they won on this board, they won 15 imps. The other table was 5 clubs doubled down 2. So they had the auction that Chris, well, not quite. 2 hearts, 3 clubs, 3 spades, 5 clubs doubled, which was a bit strange by Joel Woolridge. Double with queen 10 third of spades, where Bobby Levin bid 5 spades. So fascinating. So anyway, the scores at the end of the night are nickel by 30, 103 to 73. That's pretty good, holding your opponents to 73 imps in the first 60 boards. That's very good. And the other one is been a back and forth match, but it's 9 imps to Leibowitz going into tomorrow. All right. Well, thank you very much, Michael. Thank you, Brent, if you're still there. And I'm gonna sign off from here. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.